Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Donjo number 1-S-CW, or also seen as the 1-CW-S. Regardless of how you put it, it doesn't matter. All those pieces are required for the part number, and this is what the genuine article actually looks like. This is a Donjo number 1. That is a representation of the dimensional properties of the plate. It's a CW, and we're going to talk about what that means. It's a reference to the edge prep. And then it's an S. That means that it's stainless steel. It's actually solid stainless steel. Okay, that magnet will tell you at least that it's not ferrous. But that it is a brushed finish on the stainless steel material. This gray or this white film is just the peel-away protective film on the item. So let's dissect the part number. The number 1 is a reference to all of the dimensional properties of the item. So that means that this plate is going to be everything dimensionally about it means it's a Donjo 1. So let's go over all the dimensions. Number 1 is going to be 9 inch tall. It's going to be 4 inch wide. It's going to be for an 1 3/8 thick door. It is going to have a 2 1/8 hole, okay, at a back set of 2 3/8. So all of that together means a number 1. If any of those dimensions change, the part number changes. The CW refers to the fact that the preparation in the edge for the latch bolt is recessed, okay, or what would be considered perhaps mortised. If you change the CW to a VF, you're going to get a flat end to the reinforcing plate with a hole prep in it just for the latch bolt to stick out, where the faceplate of the latch, assuming you have a rectangular faceplate, will still be mortised to the door, and you're literally not going to remove the latch bolt from the door and put this over the entire assembly. A CW is going to require that you use the included 832 by 1/2 inch flat undercut head screws to attach the latch bolt directly to these insert nuts that are here. The purpose of that is if your door is damaged to the point where there's no wood left to attach a latch bolt to, you're going to use a CW. Physically attach the latch to the plate itself and then install the entire assembly. And then again, finally, the S means stainless steel with a brushed finish. Okay. Speaking of screws, you're going to get screws to attach the unit itself. The holes here and here. It's 22 gauge stainless steel. There is a link below this video to a document called Template that will allow you to review all of the dimensional properties. And the one thing I didn't mention is that 2 1/8 hole is right in the exact center, so it's at 4 1/2 inch of the 9 inch total height. Now, regarding installation, my approach when installing these is really doing a dry fit first, getting the item installed down onto the door. Remove the latch bolt, test a dry fit, make any adjustments that you see are obviously going to be necessary. Get the latch bolt attached and then dry fit it again. Make any adjustments, meaning you might literally have to chisel out more of the edge of the door to get this to fit down as tightly as possible. If it's residential construction, you likely have an adequate margin between the door edge on the lock side and the jamb, or it's possible that you don't. It's likely that you do, however. So this plate being 22 gauge, it's probably about 40 thousandths thick, would be my guess. So that's not even a 1/16 of an inch that you are going to require to have this installed. However, it's not exactly flat. So this could become an issue with the door closing smoothly and securely. If you have to make adjustments, even as difficult as I've even chiseled the edge of the door so that I could make the face of this flush with the edge of the door and not surface mount it, and then adjust the back side of the holes to account for kicking it back a little bit further. Do that if you have to. You want the door to work very smoothly, okay? You don't want this to impede the proper door operation. And if you have a spring hinge or maybe even a door closer on the door, yeah, you're probably going to have to account for getting this installed so that nothing happens or changes. in your installation of the door latching correctly. Also, you're now adding to the thickness of the door technically, because the inside is for that 1 3/4 inch. When the door closes and makes contact with the face of the stop, you might need to adjust your strike plate a little bit, because now the latch bolt is actually not going as far into the rabbet area of the jamb as it used to, because it's making contact with the stop of the face of the plate first. So you might have to adjust the strike a little bit, meaning file it out, is what this technical hand motion means. File it out. Those adjustments made, you've got your 4 screws, and one thing that I like to do is when I pre-drill the holes, I'll ever so slightly put my pre-drill, the hole that I'm pre-drilling at a slight angle, very slight, so that when I put the screw in and the underside of the head makes contact with the face of the reinforcing plate, it will act to draw it tight a little bit. I've installed these also where there's a little belly here and they're not very tight on the door, so I like to tip the odds in my favor by giving a little angle on that hole so that I can draw it back ever so slightly, or also known as drill the hole real tight to the outside area of the hole so that it's really snug on the edge of the door. However you get it on, that's the way you're going to get it on. You're going to want to dry fit it first to make sure you know what you're going to walk into. Now, finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Danjo products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the full product catalog. In addition to the full product catalog, all the subsections above. If you know Danjo as a company, you probably do know them for wraparound plates or for latch guards or latch protectors. However, when you look at those other sections, you'll quickly realize they're a comprehensive provider of all things trim and auxiliary hardware related, and they're a fantastic company. Their quality is good, their people are good, their shipping lead times are prompt and reliable, and on the rare occasion that they make a mistake, they make it good on the spot, and it matters. It means a lot. The product can be good, the product can be average or superior, but when you add on top of that the excellent human factor from them as a manufacturer and provider of trim and auxiliary, they approach becoming the perfect package. So if you have more than an occasional need for trim and auxiliary hardware, review their catalog before making a final decision. They have a relatively petite footprint, but all that common stuff they're going to have, and they're going to do it very well. If you have any questions on the Danjo 1-CW-S door reinforcing plate or any other Danjo product, please feel free to reach out to us.